Hi, this is Suki Fox, the Roving Repatterner as I'm called, and I'm speaking to you today from the beautiful Shuswap area of BC. I just stayed with some friends here last night and I just finished a tour of the coast, Vancouver Island, Salt Spring. Before that I was in Alberta, and so I'm just wrapping up my spring touring now and happy to be in the Okanagan for most of the summer, and excited about my summer coming up here. And I've had an amazing spring touring around. I've had so many connections with other practitioners and other interesting teachers and healers along the way. Really inspired by my friend Renee Hamilton in Edmonton, who's been going through an awakening experience starting last fall, and I spent quite a few interesting evenings listening to him share about how he's been living in the moment and having these experiences of just not believing his history the same way, the story of who he thought he was. And I felt quite inspired by that. And then when I got back to the Okanagan, I dropped into a farm where I've been staying, and there was a shaman there. And I ended up actually having my own awakening experience. I'm sure inspired partly by my desire to when I spent time with Renee. So it was an incredible experience. I won't get into too much here, but it really led me to coming fully into the moment, which sounds very simple, but it was just being part of everything all at once. And I even saw, going back to age 9, how I'd made a promise about freedom to myself when I was a child, that when I was older I was going to be free and I was going to experience that freedom that I didn't feel as a child. So I basically feel like everything's led up to where I am right now, and really every moment I could say that of my life. But I have this opportunity now to share the information that I've been learning through the years, and that's what I'd like to start out with today, is to tell you, number one, the healing modality that I find the most useful. But it's also going to be a series. We're also going to do a series of presentations here, sharing the 7 healing modalities that I find the most useful for my clients in my work. With repatterning, I muscle check or use applied kinesiology to ask my clients which modalities will help them shift in a session, so that they can shift their resonance into their intentions instead of their problem. So these 7 things have been coming up the most for clients over the last 15 years. And the first one I'd like to talk about is nature. And I'm sure you've heard about the healing benefits of nature, but there's 3 things I'm going to talk about briefly: grounding, light, and water. At this time of year, it's wonderful to speak about grounding. We're in the spring. It's this incredible time of the earth awakening and everything being green and lush and lovely. The promise of summer is ahead of us. And what I'd like to say about the first part of nature is the idea of grounding is often overlooked by people. It's an excellent time of year to start going barefoot and to touch the earth. We're made of the earth, but we're often insulated from it by concrete or by our shoes and by our clothing. And for some people, they never actually physically touch the earth. And I'm going to encourage you to do that this spring, to walk around barefoot or hug a tree, or even better, if you're in an area where you can do it privately like I do. I actually will, like every day as much as possible, I'll get naked and do some yoga on the grass and let my whole body touch the earth. And I'm finding it helps with pain issues. If you actually have like a sore shoulder or back, try putting that naked onto the earth and seeing what happens. It's really surprising, the benefits of just physically touching what we're made of, this earth, this planet Earth. So this is a wonderful time of year to start having these opportunities to interact and have that real direct experience of grounding. You can ground out electrical energy in your body, which you pick up from using technology, cell phones, computers. It's been shown to ground out things like schizophrenia, and other things are based on, apparently there's studies I've read that allow, the grounding allows you to ground out some of that energy too, and it's been actually quite transformational for people with mental health issues to be more grounded. And so that's the first thing I want to talk about, is the simple experience of grounding. I was very inspired by that also by David Wolfe. I spent some time with him last year and loved what he said about grounding. And if you want some more information, you can also check out his information about the electrical imbalances in our body and the benefit of simply grounding. So the second thing I wanted to talk about in nature is light. So light is often an overlooked healing modality. A lot of people have been trained to wear sunglasses and protect their eyes from the light, and there's certainly appropriate times to do that, like when you're on a sailboat or out in the water, driving into the light in your car, out on snow. Those are times where you do need to protect your eyes, but the rest of the time it's really important to not wear your sunglasses as much as possible, and your eyeglasses. What happens is when we're outside like this, we're receiving light through our skin and through our eyes, and our eyes are actually photon receptors, and they're designed to receive light. I'm not suggesting you stare into the sun at all, although it is wonderful to do that at sunrise and sunset, and that's called sun gazing, and that's a whole other thing that when it's close to the horizon, it's actually very beneficial to also do that. But even just being outside in the shade, wearing a hat, you know, anything like that, you're still receiving that light, and it enlightens you to receive more light. If you wear eyeglasses, it also refracts the light and doesn't allow the light to fully go into your eyes. And as a quick aside, I also do vision repatternings, improved my own eyesight 10 years ago. Several of my clients have just thrown their glasses away. So if you're going to get those laser corrections done on your eyes, try repatterning on it first and see if that makes a difference with improving your vision. I can read the finest print and have for over 10 years now after my vision repatternings. So the other thing about eyeglasses and light is that if you're wearing sunglasses, there's a dark frequency that you're filtering that light into your eyes through. So that dark frequency is gray, green, brown. It's not a healing frequency. I actually do light color healing therapy does come up in my sessions, but I'll muscle check what color, and it's usually turquoise or blue or different colors like that. But it's very brief. People put on color filter lenses for a minute, and then that's it. I'll muscle check when it's complete, and that's it. So wearing eyeglasses all day in the sun, it's two things. You're blocking that absorption, and you're also filtering through that particular frequency of color, which is not a healing frequency for you. So moving on from light, I want to talk about water. Of course, you know you're made of water. Your brain is the highest percentage, over 90% water. So when you become dehydrated, the first thing that happens is you can't think clearly anymore. You might have trouble talking. And you can't even remember that you're dehydrated because your brain is losing its function. And your brain actually gets dehydrated first because your body spares the organs and protects your heart and the other organs of their water content. So squeeze a little fresh lemon or lime in there and amp up your water, especially in the summer. Especially if you're a person who drinks coffee or other things that dehydrate you. It's another amazing simple way to heal and benefit yourself is to drink more water. Hot baths are amazing for that. Epsom salts. If you're dealing with chlorinated water, leave it sit out for 15-20 minutes, half hour. Even a hot bath, run it too hot, let your bath outgas it if it has chlorine in it. If you go to a pool and you get chlorine and you get that smell, a little baking soda rubbed into your skin will actually remove the smell, balance the mantle of your skin, pH balance it, and it'll take the smell away, and you just rinse it off. Very important if you get hot and you have a hot tub, hot bath, shower, rinse off with a cool rinse afterwards. That cooling temperature helps to balance the organ temperature and balance out the whole experience of heating your body up and increasing the circulation, and then the cooling effect will close your pores and balance your temperature. Very important if you go to hot tubs and you want to not give your body a stress response by not cooling itself off. It'll think you have the flu or a cold or something. It'll make you go to sleep if you overheat. So cooling off is really a way of turning any hot bathing experience into a healing experience instead of a stressful experience for your body. So that's the first modality. I've got Brain Gym coming up. I've got Jin Shin Jitsu. The next 6 are really fascinating. I hope you'll tune in for the next ones coming up. I appreciate you being part of my journey and listening to me today from this beautiful place in BC. I am going to be based in BC for most of the summer, and I would welcome you to contact me by email or call. Website is sukifox.com, SUKIFOX. If you have any questions or would like to talk to me about any of this, please feel free to contact me. And thanks again for listening to me today and for being part of this.